Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Board Games Unlocked, and we are doing a no-run-through review for Rolling Realms, which was a review copy sent to me by Stonemaier Games. So thanks, Jamie, for sending it my way. Don't know why I even thanked him. He doesn't even watch these.
Yeah, Jamie.
He purposely doesn't watch them because he doesn't want to be biased. Be like, oh man,
I purposely...
he really shit on Tapestry. Not sending him review copies again, which I appreciate. But this was a game that I actually got an email of just, hey, we're sending you a review copy, and I was like, I don't even know what that is.
Who are you?
And I'm like, Stonemaier? Is that it?
Wingspan?
No, Seethy? Is it Seethy? Is it Scythe? I've never heard of these. No, obviously Scythe is my favorite game, so I'm a huge fan of Stonemaier. And if you are a massive fan of Stonemaier, you have all their games, then this is the game for you.
Yeah. Fanboy.
This is a fanboy game. It is a adequate roll and write.
Yeah.
I guess it's not horrible. It's not. Okay. So it falls in the realm of roll and writes for me that almost every single one of them does. It is a filler for the sake of being a filler, and it has no thought process behind it. For me, anyway. I don't like roll and writes where it is literally that. You roll dice and you're just like, okay, I did that. Now it's your turn. And you roll the dice and now we're done with the game. Which is exactly what this is, but they kind of ham it up with it being in their realm of their own games.
Mm-hmm.
Which is kind of cute.
It's a fun homage to themselves.
Yeah. It's a silly little, like, yeah, us.
Yeah, it's not as self-congratulatory as it might sound.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is.
Okay.
This is the same thing as someone giving their game a 10 out of 10 on Board Game Geek and reviewing it.
Well, yeah, but their games are pretty much usually...
Yeah, Stonemaier typically has bangers, but for this game to be in a sense of their own, like every single roll and write card is named after all their games, it's a little on the nose.
And in their games within games, though, I think, like...
They're mini games.
Yeah, which I think makes it, okay. It's like, like little Rolling Realms is your pocket Stonemaier universe.
Yeah. And each of them are different, and I will give them credit to where that each of the mini games does somewhat reflect what the game is about.
Yeah.
Very, very loosely, but they do all play different, which is good. So how the game works, if you're not familiar, is you have 12, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, you have 12 total cards. Everyone has these cards, and you go through 3 rounds. You shuffle the cards, you pull out 3 of them. Those are the games that you have to utilize the dice. So in this case, it's Pendulum, Euphoria, and Scythe. And each one of them plays a little bit different in how you utilize dice to gain stars, which is how in each of the 3 rounds, whoever has the most stars from all 3 wins. What did you guys think of Rolling Realms?
Okay.
Yeah, it sure was alright. I don't really care for Rolling Rights that often.
Yeah.
They're not bad. This definitely wasn't bad. It was a little weird. Some of these are strange.
Mm-hmm.
But very thematic for their games.
Yeah, for how filler like these typically are. It's kind of like, oh, all right, the mechanism for Scythe, yeah, that's kind of like what one of the very loose things you do in Scythe is.
Yeah,
so,
like
neat.
And what was it? The winemaking one.
Viticulture.
Viticulture. It's like, yes, okay, you're trying to make a wine order.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, as far as that goes, like as far as what it is as a roll and write, very good. Would I play it again? No.
Yeah.
I feel like once is enough.
Yeah, once you kind of are like, oh, neat. Never want to do this again.
Yeah, like maybe this is like a game that you're like, oh, okay, we're traveling and I don't know, we're bored.
And I say that about almost every roll and write, flip and write, whatever. Like, the only time I can ever justify playing one is if you are doing a game day and that's all you're playing. It is a 12-hour game session of specifically roll and writes. Like, Because I don't, even when at the game days that we go to, and it's like, oh, well, that game's almost over, let's play something real quick. It's like, I'll just talk to people. I'll be on my phone. I don't want to set up the game and then quickly just do that. Because it's never going to go in the time that you've allotted. It's like, no, this is only 15 minutes, goes on for 25, and then, well, their game was over 10 minutes ago, but now they don't want to wait, so now they're going to start something, and then you just...
Now they're doing a roll and write.
and then you go into the roll and write day. Brett, what do you think?
I pretty much agree with you both in that it's very creative the way that they have created all these different mini puzzles for you to solve 3 at a time.
Yeah.
There are different strategies for them. They are thematically tied to their original games.
Yeah.
In a way that fanboys would go, that's really cool.
Yeah, right.
But as a game itself to play, it's one of the more complex roll and writes.
Okay.
And it's so that it tends to be kind of slow.
Yeah.
For example, I am very aware that a few rounds I was going, okay, how do I best do this? And I rethought and wanted to undo a couple things, and you two were both, any minute.
Well, you were probably encapsulated by how thematic each of these cards were.
No.
Like, wow. It's like, so viticulture, you use the dice to be able to, and you have resources that give you a lot of mitigation. I like that. I like the fact that there is some kind of thought for, like, because I think this is like a step above on tour.
Oh, yeah.
Because you have 2 dice, and you're just like, because on tour is just that. It's just, you just take those 2 numbers.
And try to plan out.
Because you reverse them. It's like if you roll a 6 and a 1, you put a 16 somewhere and a 61 somewhere.
Yep.
And that's it.
Yep.
This was kind of like that. You had to use a 6 on a realm, one of the 3 cards, and then the 1 on a different realm. But you can decide on where you want to put those to get resources, because the resources allow you to modify, I need a 1. Oh, well, I can use these 2 pumpkins here to make it a 2, which is great. Or I'm going to use 3 pumpkins, and I can adjust one of those and use it in the same realm, which is nice. So it does have some thought in kind of where you want to put it. But yeah, viticulture, you have to plant the grapes, and then you use those grapes to make wine orders. Scythe, you have to gain resources and spend resources and dice to get stars. Euphoria, you had to add them together. That's kind of marking your workers that you had to roll, and if you add up all the sum, they get too smart and one of them leaves. That's how you get stars. Pendulum was actually interesting because you had to use dice to circle the resources and then fill out an hourglass to be able to reap the benefits of all them.
Yeah.
Between 2 cities, you play Sudoku, a very light Sudoku to get resources. Tapestry, the dice are the values of the polyomino shapes to fill in. And once you fill in a box, you get a resource similar to how it was by placing the buildings of Tapestry. Have you played Tapestry?
I have.
Okay. So it's similar to that. Charterstone, this one was very, very loose to me, but it's also, I think, because I haven't played Charterstone in a long time.
It's been a while.
Since you and I did the series where I hated it.
Over 2 years.
Kat had, because Charterstone is a worker placement.
I had the perfect
She had
flow.
she had a build. She had a fantastic build that she's like, why would I never not do this?
Change this? Why would I
and
change
it's like,
this?
in Charterstone, you don't block people. Like, I can go, and so I could do the same strategy, and it's like, why the fuck would I do that? I don't want to just copy your strategy. So that was frustrating. But anyway, you had to mark these buildings, and then you had to slot them. I think these were supposed to represent the cards, because there was, like, the legacy part. To mark crates. Between 2 castles, you had to mark the rows and build up the 2 different castles to get the stars. My little scythe was filling out the hexagons, and this is the only one that actually mattered for resources.
Yeah.
Like, you wanted to get a lot of resources because you got stars for if you got at least 6 of the 3 different ones. Right. Then you have wingspan. You go left to right. Your sum has to, or it doesn't have to, but if you want extra stars, it has to equal the value of the wingspans. And then last is it's called the Society, but it's supposed to be Red Rising. I don't know why they called it the Society.
Maybe
now
they
this
lost
does
the
say,
trademark rights?
well, it does say first printing, so I don't know if this is just with the review copy that in actual publications it's going to say Red Rising, or maybe he couldn't get the rights to this particular game to have it, so we had to call it something else. Those are my 2 guesses. But you basically had to make a pyramid of numbers. So once again,
in a hierarchical value, which again, is kind of how that theme works.
Yeah.
right, which is one. I mean, which is really, it's really cool But this game is only if you like Stonemaier games. I really cannot see you getting into this if you don't. If you don't like Scythe, Viticulture, Charterstone, you're not going to be...
You're not going to get this.
Yeah, you're not, but you're also not going to like the whimsy of...
Yeah, on the other hand, I would say it's more replayable than any of the other. It's got more random features than any of the other roll and writes. Because every time you deal out 3 cards, it's going to be a slightly different strategy for how to work it.
Yeah.
If you really like roll and writes, I would say you're probably going to like this because it's more complex and it's more replayable than any of the ones I've encountered.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of roll and writes, so maybe that's true. But once again, I think roll and writes... Yeah, maybe... Because the only roll and writes I like are the ones with high variety and theme to them. Like the...
But also ones with player interaction.
Yes.
You mentioned before.
Yes. Oh, absolutely. I really don't like being rolling dice and being like, yep, this is all I'm doing, and I don't really care what you guys are doing.
Right.
But I also don't think that this has as much replayability as you're giving it credit for, because our scores were were similar, literally.
Oh yeah.
Every single round until the final one, where it's just like, oh, okay, I got 10, I got 11. Well, you won.
Oh, yeah. That was just based on the 3 cards that we had.
Right.
Point being, next play it's going to be 3 different cards.
I would have almost liked this if we were all in our like own realm. I think it would have been really cool if like we each shuffle these and I have these 3, you guys get your 3, but we still have to maximize, because the numbers, it doesn't matter what we roll. Mm-hmm. If I have Between Two Cities, Charterstone, and Viticulture, and you have Scythe, Euphoria, and the Society, if we roll a 5 and a 1, it's not like, oh, those only work for Charterstone. Like, so it'd be really cool if you had to, because each card can only give you a max of 6 points.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't matter which cards you guys are using, and I think that would lend itself to potentially a different strategy.
Well, so on the surface, what that says to me is either they want everybody playing the same thing because they want everyone playing the same game at the same time, which is inconsistent with other roll and writes.
Yeah.
Or they realize during playtesting that these are inherently imbalanced, and instead of trying to figure out how to balance them all between each other, they just say everybody play the same 3.
I guess.
So that there's a balance between the players instead of between each minigame.
Maybe.
But I'm not playing it enough to figure that out.
Right, yeah. We've seen enough of what it is. I mean, it even says, like, his reason for making it. In the early days of the coronavirus pandemic, a time of self-isolation for many people, I created an infinitely scaling roll and write game to teach and play with people around the world via Facebook Live. Each of the realms in Rolling Realms draws inspiration from a key element of another Stonemaier game. While publishing the game wasn't our intention, enough people asked us to make a physical version, so we did.
Cute. Aw,
Shut up.
I like that.
I think that's stupid.
So he created a fan game for himself and for his own
fans,
glorification, and all of his friends said, hey, everybody will like this.
Hey, you know how you can make money off this?
Which I'm not criticizing.
No, it's a business, and once again, if you
and it's cool. It's a fun idea.
The market who this is for is specifically summed up in that paragraph. Fans of Stonemaier games and roll and write, and people who have no friends.
I would say, especially if you are a collector. So if you have all the Stonemaier games, like imagine having like your little Stonemaier like
shrine,
like how we have our Great Lord Cthulhu,
right
up there. Some people have Great Lord Jamie,
who looks like Cthulhu.
They have that wingspan bird. It's but Jamie's face.
With the wings, is he on the?
He's on the other side.
Oh, yeah. And I mean, don't get me wrong. Red Rising was okay. Euphoria is great. Scythe is fantastic. Viticulture is great. Charterstone, I actually want to try again. Between Two Cities is great. Wingspan is great. My Little Scythe I haven't played, but once again, Stonemaier, that was a fan-made game where he wanted to play Scythe, but with like his kids, and so he made a game, and Stonemaier bought the rights. Between Two Castles is great. Tapestry is ass, and Pendulum is alright. Pendulum is fine. So I like Stonemaier games, and I'm always excited when they're making something. But I don't like roll and writes.
Yeah.
Not that much.
Yeah.
I have 3. Well, because I have Welcome To, which is not a roll and write, but it's a flip and write.
Yep.
It's the same thing. I have chart.
Well, are you rolling or are you flipping?
You're flipping. So it's not the same. I have I was gonna say Charterstone. I have Cartographers, and then I have the Super Pinball game.
Super pinball.
So this is, if someone really just loves those, then I guess get it. But I don't see like the whimsy is dead immediately, like for me. And I just talked about 7 of these like 12 games that I think are good, but it's like I don't want to play it again.
Yeah.
But you want to play those 7.
Well, that's the thing is, whenever I was telling you kind of like what Pendulum was about, I wanted to play that.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't want to play this version of the I mean, yeah, they captured it pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Clever, creative, but as an overall game to play, just not there.
This is weird. This is just a weird
Yeah.
game. I would have never thought, because it's not their world. It's not like all their games. It's not like that's like if Ryan Lockett came out and made a roll and write for Near and Far.
Mm-hmm.
Which he probably could, because he actually has a world. That would make the most sense. Here's a roll and write in my world that encapsulates Sleeping Gods and Near and Far and all these games. But it has nothing to do with those because I actually have a universe.
Mm-hmm.
This is weird! And it's a decent roll and write.
Yeah.
With heavy dice that always roll 6s.
It was.
It didn't roll 6s that time.
Wow. No, let me roll.
Maybe they got warmed up.
Damn it! Well, those added together make a 6.
Why an ass liar?
But then if you do this... Oh, look at that! It's a 6! I called it! I am God! Anyway. I will be... You can go check out the solo variant, because that actually looks like there's more effort into it, like every other solo variant for roll and writes tend to do, because they're multiplayer solitaire games anyway. So you can check that out. But on a scale of 1 to 10, what would you guys give this?
I'm gonna give it a 5.
That's where I'm at.
Yeah.
I'm going to say 6.
Shut up, Brett.
Get out.
Simply because if you like roll and writes, it's a pretty good one. It's a real specific audience, though. So
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
I would play it again if people wanted to. I would not suggest it myself.
That's a fair assessment.
This is
I'm still going to
probably-
keep it at a 5.
Sure.
But I would not go out of my way to play it. But if someone's like, hey, do you want to play this real quick? It says it takes about 30 minutes. That's actually about right. Just because each round, each set of 3, you roll the dice 9 times.
Yeah.
And then that's that.
Spend about 1 minute figuring out what to do with them.
Yeah.
And that's...
You spend about a minute, if you're playing with new people, explaining the weird
Oh my
idiosyncrasies.
Yeah.
Because some of them, it's like, I felt like some of these were easier to understand, and some of them were just really odd.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, I felt like that each of these cards, none of them were a stretch to be like, oh, that's not really anything. That doesn't have anything to do with Scythe. It's like, oh, okay, I see it.
Yeah.
So still gonna give it a 5 though. It's a game. It's a game. But if you love Stonemaier and their products, then oh boy, are you in for a treat. But that's it. That's our thoughts on Rolling Realms. Let us know what you think of the game in the comments below. Other than that, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and have a wonderful whatever time of day it is for you. Hey everyone, thank you for watching, and I really hope that you enjoyed the video. If you would like to see more of my content, go ahead and click that subscribe button and the bell to be notified whenever I upload any new content. If you feel like supporting the channel, you can go ahead and click that Patreon link to be taken to my Patreon, and any help is truly appreciated. Other than that, stick around for any other run-throughs or reviews or cool top 10s or whatever I feel like putting on. Other than that, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and have a wonderful whatever time of day it is for you.